This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. What do we teach in MSc Data Science course? During the first semester, you will learn a lot about the mathematical and statistical techniques that are related to data science. We don't teach everything that is available in mathematics and statistics. Those portions of mathematics and statistics that are related to data science. And what do we teach during the second semester? We teach a subject known as machine learning, and we teach a subject known as deep learning during the third semester. During the fourth semester, the students do a major project. So you would have guessed that the three important subjects that we teach in MSc Data Science are mathematics and statistics in the first semester, machine learning in the second semester, and deep learning in the third semester. Now, I will provide an idea about machine learning and deep learning, machine learning and deep learning. Now, these are the 5 steps involved in every data science project. Now, suppose I want to study about the occurrence of corona in various parts of India, right? Everyone talks about corona nowadays. Now, I have to collect data from various states and the central government. I have to store them, and then I should think about filtering the data, similar data, and then merging them and all. I should also think about preparing the graphs. Now, like pie charts, bar charts, and all. Now, when I say like this, you have an idea. What do I mean by collecting the data, storing the data, processing the data, and then displaying with the help of a picture? Now, what about modeling? Model is an equation. For the time being, how do you remember the word model? It's a technical term. Model means an equation between variables. Now, can I give you the examples of two variables? Age is one variable. It differs from year to year. My present age is different from my previous year's age. My next year's age will be different from this year's age. Age is a variable, something that varies. Similarly, my salary is a variable. My present salary is different from previous year's salary, and next year's salary will be most probably different from this year's salary. So age and salary are two variables, and there will be a relationship between these two variables. When my age increases, my experience also increases, and as a result my salary will also increase. Now the question is, can we find out the exact relationship between age and salary? Can we quantify that relationship? That is what we study in data science, right? Have a look at this simple data. When the years of experience, right, differ like this, corresponding salary differs like this. See, suppose the years of experience is 5, and then that person gets 10 lakhs as salary, right, per year. And then years of experience 7, he gets 14 lakhs as salary per year. Nowadays people talk about, right, CTC, cost to the company. They always talk about the salary per year, right? And when the years of experience is 2, he will be given 4 lakhs as salary per year. Now, there is an interesting fact. See, you take any value here, multiplied by 2, you get the other value, right? So suppose you write X here. Instead of writing years of experience, you write here. Instead of writing salary, you write Y here. Now, then all these values become the values of X. All these values become the value of Y. And then can I say like this? You take any value of X, you multiply it by 2, you get the value of Y. You take any value of X, multiply it by 2, you get the value of Y. So can we say 2X is equal to Y? That is what I am writing here. Y is equal to 2X. See, this is one value of Y. It is equal to 2 times this. This is another value of Y. It is equal to 2 times this. This one value of Y. It is equal to 2 times this. That is why generally I am able to write Y is equal to 2X. This is known as, see, prediction equation. Why do they call it as prediction equation? Suppose someone comes and tells me, right, I possess 9 years of experience, how much salary I can expect, and then I will substitute 9 here, and 2 times 9 is 18. I will immediately tell him you are likely to get 18 lakh per year. And some another person comes and tells me I have I possess 10 years of experience. How much salary can I get? And then I will substitute x is equal to 2 times 10 is equal to 20. So this equation helps me to predict. That is why this is known as prediction equation. It is also known as regression equation. Please commit this point to your mind. This is known as prediction equation, and this is also known as regression equation. When the data is really so simple, you can simply guess the regression equation, prediction equation. This is a particular case, specific case. This is the general case. Here m is equal to 2. Suppose here you substitute m is equal to 2 and c equal to 0, you will get this one. When you substitute c is equal to 0, now you can forget this term. Anything that is 0 is can be dropped, and when you put m is equal to 2, you get this one. So this is a particular case of this one. It's a general case. Okay, now what do I want to say? When the data is really so simple, you can easily find out the model. I have told you, model is an equation. You can easily find the model. Now suppose the data is a little bit complex, and then you can use a statistical technique known as least square technique. Now I have reproduced the values from the previous slide, right? All the values of x, all the values of y, and then I have multiplied c 1 by 1, 3 by 3, right? That is why I'm writing x times x, x times y. Now I find all these totals. These 36 and 72 are used here. These 408 and 204 are used here. See, forget about this equation, the derivation. Let us not worry about the derivations and all. The derivations and the explanation are available in the statistics book. Now what do I want to say? Take this equation, get this equation from the book, substitute, do simple calculation, substitute here and solve the simultaneous equation. You get these values, right? You get the simultaneous equation, in m and c. Solve, you get m is equal to 2, c equal to 0. Substitute these values here, put c equal to 0 here, and then this term will go, and then put m is equal to 2, you will get y is equal to x. What do I want to say? Right, sometimes you can very easily guess, right? Even if guessing is not, you can guess the relationship between two variables. See, this such a relationship is known as a model. Now if the data is a little bit complex, now here I am considering the same data, but if the data is a little bit complex, you can use the statistical procedure to find out the relationship. Now I am going to tell the most interesting point. Now sometimes what happens, you have to deal with a lot of variables. Blood sugar level in a person depends on his age, weight, height, blood pressure, and so on and so on. Age is represented as a variable x1, weight is represented as a variable x2, height is represented as x3, blood pressure is represented as x4, and so on and so on, x10. How many variables we deal with? 10 variables, right? In the previous case, how many variables did we deal with? We have dealt with just 2 variables. Now the concept is very clear. When you have to deal with only 2 variables or 3 variables or 4 variables, statistics will come to your help for finding the relationship, for finding the prediction equation. But when you have to deal with 8 variables, 10 variables, as in this case x1, x2, x10, 12 variables and all, using statistics is going to be a very tedious procedure. In all such cases, we go in for machine learning. That is why we teach machine learning in the second semester. Now sometimes you have to deal with 200 variables, 400 variables, 900 variables. Consider this image. This is the image of an eye of a person who suffers from this disease, diabetic retinopathy. See, there is a specific pattern. This part of the eye is very light in color, somewhat light, dark, totally different color. An ophthalmologist knows if the image is like this, and then that person suffers from this disease. But see, if the disease is at an advanced stage, any doctor can easily diagnose. But when the disease is at the beginning stage, sometimes the doctors themselves, right, struggle to decide whether the disease is present or not. In all such cases, deep learning software come to the rescue of the doctor. We never say that deep learning software will replace the doctor. See, X-ray is so helpful to the doctor now for taking a decision. CT scan is really so helpful to the doctor. Similarly, in the future, deep learning software will also be so helpful to the doctor. That is why We teach statistical techniques in the first semester, machine learning in the second semester, and deep learning in the third semester. Some people ask me, can we straight away learn deep learning? Not at all. See, you have to start from the basic. We explain three nice techniques like regression, classification, and clustering during the first semester. All those three techniques find lot of use in machine learning. All these three techniques find lot of use in deep learning also. Now it is easy to learn these techniques with the help of simple statistical technique. That is why we say learn statistics first, move over to machine learning, and then deep learning. So we are planning to post many more interesting videos right in the near future. So please subscribe to this particular channel so that you will get notifications. Thank you.